too much, but it's also because my visual dropped late. So it's like, this was always a visual album for me first. However, I'm not complaining. That's a good complaint to have because, people...
Looks like there's a new couple in Hollywood. Aaron, Pierre, Teyana. Aaron, Pierre, that's Teyana.
Imagine this for a moment. It's a regular afternoon in Los Angeles. The sky is warm, the streets are busy, and the city feels alive in its usual rhythm. No flashing cameras, no red carpet, no public spectacle, just a quiet cafe tucked away. On a side street, the kind of place where people go to escape the noise of the city. In the back corner, almost hidden from view, sit two people who don't seem to want to be noticed, Aaron Pierre and Teyana Taylor. To anyone walking past, they might have looked like just another pair of friends having coffee. Nothing loud, nothing dramatic, just two people in conversation. But if you lingered long enough, if you really paid attention, you could feel something hanging in the air. A heaviness, a quiet tension, the kind that makes you sense something is about to snap. Around them, the cafe moved like normal. A server walked by balancing a tray of drinks. A group of friends laughed near the window. Soft music drifted in the background, blending with the hum of casual chatter. Everything seemed calm, but then, like lightning cutting through a still sky, Aaron's voice rose above it all. It wasn't just raised, it was sharp, heavy with anger, and loud enough to silence the room. His words landed like a blow. "You're just like your ex." The entire cafe froze. Coffee cups paused mid-air. Conversations died instantly. Heads turned toward their corner. That one sentence carried so much weight that it sucked the air right out of the room. Teyana didn't respond right away. She didn't flinch, didn't gasp, didn't burst into tears. Instead, she just stared at him with a stillness that was almost more powerful than any reaction. Her eyes didn't widen with surprise. It was a heavy, quiet silence, the kind that whispered, "I've heard this before." This wasn't some scripted reality TV moment or staged Hollywood scandal. This was real. Two people caught in a fight that clearly went deeper than the surface. Aaron's face was tight, his jaw clenched as if his anger was battling with something else, fear, maybe regret, maybe pain he didn't know how to express. His chest rose quickly, his hands curled into fists he didn't know what to do with. And Teyana? She looked like she'd been hit by a wave she already knew too well. Her eyes dropped briefly to the floor before meeting his again. Still, she refused to say a word. It was almost as if she knew he wanted a reaction, and she wasn't going to give him that satisfaction. The sentence, "You're just like your ex," wasn't just a throwaway insult. It was an accusation, a dagger thrown in full view of strangers. And it landed. You could almost hear the crack it left in the air between them. Already, someone sitting nearby had their phone out. Just 6 seconds, that's all it took. A small clip, shaky but clear, recorded and uploaded. Within minutes, the video spread like wildfire across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Every frame was replayed, every expression analyzed, every pause dissected by millions of strangers online. And as always, theories exploded across the internet like sparks. But before that firestorm, let's rewind. Who are these two in this story? Aaron Pierre, a talented actor known for his depth and intensity. He's not one of those people constantly in the headlines. He keeps low-key, doesn't talk unless he has something meaningful to say. Teyana Taylor, on the other hand, is pure energy. A singer, actress, choreographer, director, and fashion icon all rolled into one. She's fire and art combined, someone who's lived in the spotlight for years. Her past is no secret, especially her long, complicated relationship with NBA star Iman Shumpert. Their romance had its highs, its lows, its public scandals. It ended quietly, but the shadows of it never completely disappeared. So when Teyana and Aaron first started appearing in the same spaces, a film premiere, a late-night dinner, a blurry photo of them walking close together, people noticed. Speculation began. Were they dating? Were they collaborators? Just friends? Nobody confirmed anything. Nobody denied it either. But what everyone could see was tension, chemistry, that spark you can't fake. Fast forward to this cafe, to Aaron's words. That turned private emotions into public chaos. "You're just like your ex." What did he mean by that? Was he talking about Iman? Was it about betrayal? About trust broken? About emotional walls that never came down? Was Aaron angry over something that happened minutes earlier? Or was this frustration that had been simmering for months? The internet couldn't stop guessing. Some said Aaron crossed the line, that you never throw an ex in someone's face, especially not someone like Teyana who's been through public heartbreak already. Others argued that maybe Teyana had done something to trigger him. But in truth, none of that mattered in the moment. Because when someone drags your past into the present, when they use your wounds as a weapon, it cuts deep. And in public, from someone you trusted, it's devastating. The way Teyana stood there, silent and still, spoke louder than any words she could have said. This wasn't the first time she'd been hurt like this, but this time, she didn't fight. She didn't yell. She didn't even argue. She just rose from her chair and walked away. No tears, no dramatics, no messy scene. Just a calm, quiet exit, the kind that screams louder than anger ever could. Aaron's eyes followed her as she left. His jaw was tight, his chest still heaving, but for a moment, something flickered in his expression. Regret? Maybe realization. Maybe he hadn't meant to say it like that. Maybe he had. Either way, it didn't matter. The damage was done. The clip was online. The world had already seen it, and people were relentless. Screenshots filled timelines. Threads debated endlessly. Some accused Teyana of hiding secrets. Others claimed Aaron had always been insecure. Fans pulled up old tweets, including one from Teyana months earlier that read, "You can't love someone and still want to control how they heal." Many pointed out how Aaron had once said in an interview, "I don't raise my voice in relationships." Well, that statement had aged badly. By the next morning, rumors swirled even faster. Did Aaron unfollow Teyana? Did she block him? Was her team forcing her silence to protect her brand? Aaron himself was spotted at Lax the following day, hoodie pulled low, face hidden, refusing to answer questions. And then, as if pouring gasoline on the fire, a theory hit Reddit. Maybe the whole fight was staged, a PR stunt for a new project. But almost nobody believed that. The moment was too raw, too messy, too painfully human to be fake, because beneath all the gossip and noise, there was something real, something universal. This wasn't just about Aaron yelling or Teyana walking away. This was about what happens when love collides with fear, when someone sees not who you are, but the ghosts of who came before you. When your past is used as a weapon by the very person you hoped would understand you. Aaron, in that moment, wasn't just angry. He was scared. Scared of being hurt. Scared of losing control. Maybe even scared of losing her. And instead of voicing that fear, it exploded into a sentence designed to wound. Teyana, though, had lived through this before. She'd endured comparisons, disrespect, heartbreak. But this time, she chose not to fight. Her silence became her shield. And sometimes silence speaks louder than screams. In a world that moves at the speed of a tweet, where rumors become storms overnight, silence can shake the ground. And Teyana's silence shook harder than any statement ever could. No Instagram notes. No sources close to her leaking to blogs. No cryptic captions or veiled music videos. Just that 6-second clip echoing across the internet. "You're just like your ex." People picked it apart endlessly. Was Aaron projecting his own fears? Was it gaslighting? Was it just raw pain slipping out? Social media turned it into spectacle. But for anyone who's lived through something similar, it wasn't just drama. It was a mirror. Because truthfully, most of us have been there. In that moment where words escape, not because we planned them, but because they carry the weight of old wounds. Maybe they'd been arguing over something small. A plan that fell through, a tone misunderstood, a look that lingered too long. But when you carry past pain into a new relationship, even the smallest spark can ignite everything. "You're just like your ex." A single sentence, but heavy enough to crack something fragile or reveal the cracks that were already there. Relationships rarely collapse in one dramatic explosion. More often, they erode quietly, piece by piece, through unspoken resentments and wounds left untreated. Through trying to love someone new while still battling with old scars. And maybe that's what this calf fight really was. Not just a breakup. Not just a viral moment, but a reflection of how hard it is to truly move forward when you're still haunted by what came before. Because love, as beautiful as it can be, is never simple. It's messy, it's raw. It forces us to face the parts of ourselves we'd rather avoid. And sometimes, like in that calf, it reveals truths we're not ready to handle. Maybe Aaron realized it too late. Maybe Teyana knew all along. But in that silence between them, something ended. Or maybe something finally came into focus. What the world saw was drama, but beneath it was something more: two human beings, both carrying pain, colliding in a way that couldn't be hidden. And maybe that's why the moment struck so many nerves, because it wasn't just their story, it was all of ours.